very, 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 very many very, 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 very good little girls. They were very good. They wore the nicest white dresses. They wore ribbons in their hair and curly pigtails. And when they went home, they washed up after their dinner. And when they got out of bed, they made their bed. They were good little girls. They never did anything bad. When they went to school, they got the best A marks that you could imagine. Well, one day, they were on their way to school and they came across a little old woman who was selling trinkets on a blanket. And she had a rather crooked chin and a very twisted nose and hairs that sprouted from her ears. And the trinkets she was selling, one of the little girls looked and she picked up, you might know the type, a music box. So when you open it, it has a figurine in it, you know the type? And that's when they picked it up, the little figurine turned round to Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And the little girls looked at this music box and they thought, wow, we really want to buy that music box for our mother. How much is that music box? That music box is not for sale. Not for money anyway. It's only for sale if you do something really, 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 really bad. Little girls, we're good little girls. We don't do that. You can't have it, she shouted, and she slammed the music box down by the side of her. Well, the little girls went to school. All day long they thought about nothing else but that music box. And on the way home, they had an idea. It was autumn. The wind was blowing like it's been blowing this evening. So they collected all the dead leaves from the trees. And when they got into the house, they threw those dead leaves all over the mother's carpet. They threw those dead leaves all over the mother's sofa. They threw those dead leaves all over the mother's highly polished television set. That's just when the mother opened the door and came in. Girls, she said, what are you doing? You've never been bad like this. Go to bed. You won't have any dinner. The girls walked up the stairs to bed, each with a smile on their face. Well, the next morning, they creaked down the stairs. They let themselves out. They came to where that old woman was selling trinkets. Well, she said, did you do something really, really, really bad? Yes, said the little girls. We've done something really, really, really bad. What did you do? What did you do? Said the old woman. Last night we threw leaves all over our mother's carpet. We threw leaves all over our mother's sofa. We threw leaves all over a highly polished television set. Said the old woman. You call that bad? I can think of something much worse than that. Please, said the little girls, can we have the music? No, she shouted, and she slammed the music box down by the side of her. Well, the little girls went to school, and all day long they thought about nothing else but that music box. And on the way home, they had an idea. When they got in, they sat down, they ate their dinner. After their dinner, they went to wash up as was normal. The first little girl picked up a plate and threw it to the ground. It smashed into a million, billion, trillion pieces. The second little girl picked up a cup and threw it against the wall. Again, it smashed all over the floor. One by one, each piece of crockery was thrown and smashed to the ground. That's just when the mother came in. Girls, she said, my mother gave me that dining set. What are you doing? Go to bed. The girls walked up to bed, each with a smile on their face. When the next morning, they creaked down the stairs. They let themselves out of the house. They came to where the old woman was selling trinkets. Well, she said, did you do something really, really, really bad? Yes, said the little girls, we've done something really, really, really bad. Last night, after our dinner, we smashed each piece of crockery that our mother had. Said the old woman, you call that bad? I can think of something much worse than that. Please, said the little girls, can we have the music? No, she shouted, and she slammed the music box down by the side of her. Well, the little girls went to school all day long. They thought about nothing else but that music box. And then on the way home, they had an idea. After the dinner, which they ate off of paper plates, because they'd broken all the crockery, after the dinner, which they ate off of paper plates, they went to wash up the knives and forks. The first little girl put the plug in the sink. The second little girl, with a smile, put her hand on the hot tap and opened it fully. The other little girl put her hand on the cold tap and opened it fully. The other little girl went to the cupboard and she took out the washing up liquid and poured it all into the sink. The other little girl went to the other cupboard and she took out the washing powder and she poured it all into the sink. The other little girl went to the food cupboard and took out the tomato sauce and poured it all into the sink. The other little girl with greasy hands took the butter out from the fridge and scooped it up and put it into the sink. The water began to flow. After 5 minutes, it had come up to the little girl's ankles. After 10 minutes, it had come up to the little girl's knees. After 15 minutes, it had come up to the little girl's waist. After 20 minutes or 30 minutes, it had come up to the little girl's chest. And that's just when the mother walked in and whoosh! You writers out there, all she got over her was tomato saucery, washing up liquidy, water that was buttery as well. I like buttery. Why have you done this? And the woman opened the back door and she left the house and she didn't come back. Well, that night the girls went to bed in a very empty and very cold house, and the next morning when they got up there was no smell of coffee cooking, there was no smell of toasting, and they walked down to a cold and empty fire. And they let themselves out and they walked down to where that little old woman was selling trinkets on the blanket. Well, she said, did you do something really bad? Yes, said the little girl, we done something really bad. Last night we flooded our mother's kitchen and our mother's left the house and she's not come back and we wish we hadn't done that. With that, the old woman picked the girls up by the hair and put them into a sack and tied the top of the sack up and put it over her shoulder. Well, a few months later, there was a little boy, a very good little boy, and he was walking along to school and he came across an old woman with a crooked nose and a very twisted chin. And she was selling trinkets on a blanket. You might know the type, you know, when you open them, you get a little figurine inside. Well, the little boy fell in love with one and he picked it up and he thought, that would be great for my mum. And when he opened it up, there were two beautiful little figurines in white dresses with pigtails and white ribbons turning around to twinkle, twinkle, little star. Okay? That's my scary story.